Happy New Year to you, my friend. 2024? Yeah, it's the year of you. I know it. You want to know how I know it? Because you are here listening, learning, journaling, changing, and living your big, bold, beautiful life. Midlife and beyond is where you can believe in yourself like never before. And that, my friend, is exactly why I'm here. I'm Karli Newman, and you're listening to Flipside of Midlife, a podcast for women in midlife and beyond who want to feel inspired, hopeful, confident, and more satisfied with life than they ever have. My passion is to help you explore this transformational time of life, prioritize your wants and needs, and make these years your best years. It's at the heart of my business, and it's why I show up here to dig into relevant topics that help you expand into the powerful and inspiring woman you are. I'm a coach for women in midlife and beyond because I don't want you to spend years figuring it out on your own like I did. Don't waste precious time. You're more likely to get what you want when you have someone in your corner to support you as you learn and grow. I share my knowledge and tips here on this podcast, in my emails, and on Instagram. I work closely with clients in my coaching programs, virtual workshops, wellness getaways, and wellness events in Phoenix. I also have online courses and a retail shop with unique made-for-midlife and beyond merchandise. The best place to learn more about all of that is on my website, 823groupaz.com. So how did you step into 2024, my friend? Perhaps you thought ahead and you know exactly where you're heading and how to get there this year. Maybe you have no idea what you want and you picked some random "this sounds good" idea out of the air as midnight approached on New Year's Eve. Probably you land somewhere in the middle of these two scenarios. Regardless of where you find yourself, take a deep breath and have your journal, notebook, or favorite app ready for some note-taking. If now's not a good time for you to write, listen through to the end of the episode so you know what to expect, then come right back here when you're ready. I'll include the time marker in the show notes and the transcript. 2024 can be full of the feelings, experiences, and results that make it your best year yet. It's what you want, right? I encourage you to adopt a slow and steady approach this year. Remember that story about the tortoise and the hare? Be the tortoise, my friend. Here's what I mean by that. First, be thoughtful of what you want, why you want it, and the actions that move you toward it. There is no need to rush this process. Who cares if it takes you until the end of January to figure it out? I encourage you to take a close look at your values and then align your desires for 2024 with your values. You'll be amazed at how this shift impacts your ability to stick to new habits and boost your goal achievement. I have a 90-minute virtual workshop that walks you through a values assessment and goes further to identify how to live in alignment with your values. I highly recommend you look at this if it's been longer than 2 years since you took a deep dive into identifying your values. Bottom line, my friend, they evolve and shift over time. The next way to be like the tortoise is to be consistent with behaviors that lead you to what you desire. There are no quick fixes, my friend, and if someone out there is promising you one, they are in it for themselves and can care less about your outcome. They are setting you up for failure. It takes time to create change and form new habits that last. It might be 6 months before you feel like you're on your way to what you want. And you know those times when it's really hard or you just don't want to do it and you don't feel like it, but you do it anyway? That is when you reinforce an identity shift and true lasting change starts to solidify. It takes time and it takes effort. Another way a tortoise-like approach is impactful is that it allows you to be mindful of the areas of your life you tend to ignore or sacrifice and to foster a well-rounded balance to life. Midlife and beyond is the place to revel in the fullness of life, not allow parts of it to shrivel. Let's be honest. As women in midlife and beyond, we often find ourselves taking on too much and running around trying to get it all done. We spent years putting ourselves at the bottom of our priority list, if we even made it onto the list. Being mindful helps you break that pattern. You can avoid inevitable burnout, and you get to enjoy the beautiful everyday moments that happen all around you. It can also be exactly what you need to notice when something isn't working for you, which allows you to pivot to something that does. A final way to benefit from a slow and steady approach in 2024 is to be gentle and caring with yourself. You have the space to notice when you need to rest. You see mistakes and failures as learning opportunities, and you are more patient with yourself and you become more resilient. I'd love to know your thoughts on all of this, but first, let's recap. Be the tortoise in 2024, my friend. Slow and steady allows you to be thoughtful, be consistent, be mindful, and be gentle and caring with yourself. Before I go, here's a related journaling prompt for you. As you adopt a slow and steady tortoise-like approach to 2024, what will you do differently than you have in years past? Get to writing, my friend. This midlife and beyond journey is full of amazing views. A slow and steady approach helps you pause, soak it all in, and find yourself at the end of 2024 reflecting on your best year yet. Thanks for listening to Flipside of Midlife. I'd love to hear from you. What light bulbs turned on for you during this episode? Please send me an email at karli@823groupaz.com, or if you're listening on Spotify, use your mobile app to respond to my Q&A and poll questions. Wherever you listen, it's helpful if you hit the button to follow, subscribe, rate, or write a review. When you do, those pesky algorithms help other women in midlife and beyond find this podcast. Help your sisters out.